Hello everybody and welcome or welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Tina and it's a beautiful day to be creating with you. Today I am doing my final card project, which is actually a bonus project with this Echo Park Winnie the Pooh collection. Now, all the cards that I have made, these fun fold kind of little interactive cards that I was able to make are each of the videos for how to make each one of these three designs I'm showing you right now are right here on the Creating With You YouTube channel, but I'll also make sure to link them in the comments so you'll be easy to find them. Now, this is a bonus project, and this is a Design Space Create with Cricut project. So here's my inspiration. Look at this. This is a book card. See how it looks like a book? Super cute, right? And it is just, I think this is a fancy fold and not a fun fold like I would normally say, oh, well, this is a fancy fold. But what I realized is they're all fun and they're all folds. So I'm recreating all of my fun folds that I've done over the last 10 years here on my YouTube channel. And I thought this Winnie the Pooh collection was perfect to do a book card because that's how we fell in love with him. So you're going to see me recreate this with these Winnie the Pooh papers, and I have a few tips along the way. All right, the supplies I'm using, I did the 24, but after making these, working with the 48 mega pack would be no hardship for sure. But I did the paper, the enamel dots, and I did this stamp right here, the Winnie the Pooh stamp. Thought that this was super cute. All right, let's go ahead and dive in. So the Design Space file, I'll also link down in the comments in case you want to grab this. I really feel like this is a project that Cricut is your friend. Okay, so we're going to focus on the inside. I have a few things to share, and I'm also going to be linking in or putting in a video. All right, so when you go to cut the Design Space file, these two pieces right here will cut out of one 6x6. This is what you'll have left. Now I stuck this about 1/8 of an inch off of the corner of my Cricut mat. And then inside of that, you'll have a big square. And this square is perfect to fit on the front of these right here. You'll be able to cut it down and you'll be able to get that piece. So, you know, cut that out and use that, of course. All right, and then this, of course, will go in the trash, but you can see that this can be adapted to a 6x6. The tricky one is I used the bottom of this for a card, but this is another 6x6. And in order to make this card work out of a 6x6 paper, or excuse me, this cut work out of a 6x6 paper, you need to move on your mat these two smaller cuts that would be, let me flip them over so you can see there would be one here and there'd be one here, which would go beyond the 6x6. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put in a video right now to show you how to do that in Design Space. Hello everybody. Okay, I wanted to pop in this quick tip video for cutting these smaller cuts, these here, for this special book card. Now I'm going to try to hold my phone as steady as I can, as I just want this to be, you know, a 1-minute video. Okay, I've decreased all the other cuts that appear on this card just for the purposes of making this easier. So when you see it, I'm going to go ahead and click the make in the top corner. I always say make it, but it says make. Okay, hi everybody. Okay, and so now your cuts will filter over like this, and they're all in a row. The only thing is if you're working with 6x6, like the plaid that I'm using, we're gonna wanna go ahead and make sure that we can fit it on the 6x6 sheet. So you can actually move your pieces right here on your canvas by clicking on them and then just grabbing them and dragging them over. Now, when you do this, make sure that you don't overlap any pieces, and you also want to make sure that as you move the pieces, you leave a little bit of room in between each piece, similar to how your cuts would always look from Design Space if it filtered over to your mat. So then you'll just hit continue. And when you've done this, what's happened is those have filtered over and they have permanently saved so that you can cut those exactly where you want them. Okay, so I hope you found that helpful, and then this is what the cut looked like when it came out. As I mentioned, I just cut that bottom portion off because I really wanted to finish my cards, but you can see here how I moved it and left those little spaces in there, okay? Now, if you were doing 2 of these cards, if you decided this is where you wanted to go and you wanted to put 2 of your, or make 2 of these cards, you can do quantity 2 on the one page, and what you would do is just move one here, one here, one here, and then some would fit across the bottom. But you would still be able to get these out of one of your 6x6s. All right, both sets. Okay, so now I have all my cuts done. Let's go ahead and get this ready. I manually cut all my other pieces outside of those 2 that I just shared with you. Okay, so we're going to Mountain Valley fold the center. So just the center I'm grabbing. I cut this out of brown sugar. All right, and we're going to do this way. So this is the front. We're pinching down on the top and the bottom. All right, and then here there is a fold as well. And really, you can work the folds later, but just kind of give them all a little pinch. There's one here. And then we'll turn them the correct way because we do want to get our pieces on, but the score lines are going to help us line everything up and kind of keep it centered. And they'll be a little more pronounced if we go ahead and work them just a little bit. All right, here we go. So now I can really see where my pieces are going to go. I'm going to grab my liquid glue for this. Just think it's going to make it a lot easier to get that liquid glue down. There we go. These are for our little pieces. We'll just go ahead and center those up. I always call this decrease the pieces. All right. We do have a few pieces to put, but after we get it all done, this inside portion really comes together pretty quickly. Okay. I'm just trying to keep it a little to the center because there is a very, very tiny border that goes around it. There we go. All right, so you want to make sure when you put that paper in that you have it at the correct orientation for this card. And I'm trying to see that second score line. There it is. I want to line this up, and that's why I went with the liquid glue, because we can slide it around a little bit. But if you don't get it perfect, trust me, this card is going to be so beautiful. And it's just a big wow factor. Okay, here we go. Look at all those characters, so cute. And then I really liked the pop of the color with this. Now I was out of the cardstock that I had purchased for this, so I grabbed out of my stash. We're gonna flip it over and just give it a rub. Make sure we have good adherence with all those pieces. Okay, so I grabbed 2. I'm gonna use the green side up on this. And these are the white pieces. All of these are in the Design Space file. I just manually cut these. I can see one of my pieces is crooked, but we're gonna let it go. Okay, and I actually wanted to stamp this before I put it down, so let me go ahead and grab the little stamp that I am using with this. So all the characters are in here, and this is super cute, but I really do like this Winnie the Pooh with the pot of honey. I'm not gonna color it for the video, but we are gonna go ahead and stamp it on. And the one side I will keep for my, whatever I want to write. Because I'm not going to do a verse in this one. I actually haven't been able to find the one. I'll read the verse that's in the book card. But even though I think it would work, I haven't found it. So there we go. And it would be easier to color this now or leave this white piece off, but this is kind of small and I'll just do my little dot, dot, dot coloring later on. Okay. All right, we're ready to go ahead and put this on. These are going right in the center. I love that because this paper is solid core paper with all these score lines, you're not seeing that white core. You know, everything has its advantages. Look at the inside of this card. It's going to be really cute. Okay, so now here's that verse I was saying. It says, someday when the pages of my life end, I know that you will be one of its most beautiful chapters. I may actually go ahead and create a design space text that has that, maybe a print and cut, and I'll share it here if I do. All right, so now what we want to do is, you can see that we're going to go up here. So this is going to come up and this is going to come up. Those are our two centers. All right, I'm just pinching those. And now this comes down. This one is an up and this one is a down. Okay, I'm going to show you that one more time on the other side. Down in the center, up right next to it, down on the edge. And this does take like a little finagling to kind of get it done. All right, so after we have that, now what we need to do is we need to get the proper pieces down. Okay, all this scoring, we're going to score it more, but all this scoring will help us when we're actually ready to bring the card to full life. So what we're going to do for this is we're going to push this up, fold it back, and just bring this right here. All right, let's grab our bone folder. Now this is really important. We do not want to put glue along this whole thing. We only want to get glue on the side portion from this score line over. So if you flip it over just on the back of this bracketed kind of piece, or really square C, right? I'm going to use liquid glue. Oh, and I have a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch card base. So help me get a little slide if I need it, but we want a good bit of our liquid glue. Do not go past that score line. Okay. And this can be a little tricky, and sometimes I like to put this in after I do the front of my card, but I'm building my card in a specific way. Okay, so we want to make sure that you have your piece the way you want it. All right, and we're going to lay it in here. And we want to be able to close the card. So the idea is that you kind of put this in here, lay it down, use that score line, because you're going to want to try to center it. It is the smallest border off. But before you let that dry, you need to give it a close and make sure it's all good to go. You can open it up and you can see I got it pretty good there. And if you have done this really nicely and you took the time to do the scoring, you can now just add glue right here to this side. This book card to me just said, yes, Winnie the Pooh and books. Okay, do not go past the score line again. I would like to get up to the score line. I see it, there it is. This one's kind of close. Let's just, there we go, wipe that off. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're just going to grab the card and we're going to close it. And when we close it, we're going to open it up very quickly and see if we need to move that or slide it in any way. I do think it needs just a little bit, so I'm just grabbing it and pushing it just the smallest amount. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and close it. Take our bone folder, rub it. And it's done. Look at this. How cute is this card? Okay, so now we're going to pull our pieces forward that need to come forward. This one back here comes forward too. That's why we didn't want it past that score line. There we go. And we're closing it. So I want to show you the inside of this just so that you have yours. That's how it looks like a book. Up, up, up here, and up here. That's down, up, down, up, down. That is a mountain valley fold because you go, well, valley, mountain. You go valley, mountain is up, valley, mountain. Okay, so there we go. Look at that. So this is really impressive. We don't want to do too much on the outside. My favorite way to design these are very minimalistic. So what I did was I took this piece here that says, "You are as sweet as honey." And I thought that was really cute. All of these cards feature the pocket cards that are in the 6x6 tablet as just the big piece as to where it's all going. All right, so I decided I wanted to keep this really, really simple. I'm missing one piece. I'm looking for it. Let's go ahead and put a few things aside. Oh, here it is. Okay. It's like I got to bring that back. All right, so what I have here is a 4 by 5 1/4, and I did one, and you can see that right here, I'm going to be able to get all the way across. So I'm going to be using this piece in our card, and I'm just going to cut it. All right, I'm going to just cut it so that it is an even cut at this point, because I'll trim it off on my card when I go to do it. There we go. So I don't need to cut it at the perfect size. Oh, but I do need to cut it straight. I was cutting such a small amount off. There we go. All right. And really, any scrap you decide to use here is going to be just fine, or any piece you decide. Okay, so I have my 4 by 5 1/4, and I have lots of just 1-inch pieces. I'm going to put adhesive all the way around. I have my old adhesive, my older adhesive gun, so it squeaks, but it does keep you awake at night. Ha ha ha. Okay, so I'm going to just put this first piece down, and ideally you just want it to be straight, that first piece, because if not, every piece that you put down next to it will also be crooked. I'm just going to use my little grid that I have here. There you go. You can use a ruler, use whatever you like. All right, this little guy here. There we go. Now this is going across the front of my card. I may need it, I may not. Put this one on this side. Just whatever pieces you have. So these are all scraps or extra pieces that I had when I was done. I think I do like that one there, so that I don't have character, not character, character, not character. Okay, here we go. A little bit here. And then you can trim this off using your scissors or your paper cutter, whatever works for you. I really, I love to craft and really work with my hands. I love the Cricut because projects like this would be just a lot more work without it, when you can just run the Cricut while you're straightening up your room or organizing something, you know, working on another project. I love that I can do that and have that amazing freedom to design these things that take all the stress away. But I really also like working with my hands, so a project like this is just a wonderful balance. Okay. Look at that. Something very, very simple, and you get to use all of the scraps that you have gathered during making these cards. Okay, a simple piece that's gone across the front. Don't get so focused on what the size of this is. These are all just random sizes, and this one is about 1 7/8, but it doesn't matter. The one on my card is over 2 inches on the original card that I showed you. This is going to just go right across here, a little high. Not, you know, perfectly in the center. We would just a little higher. Unless you want it in the center. Trim that off. See, that's why there was no point in me making that cut, because this way, completely over. It looks crooked to me, but that's okay. It's got all kinds of adhesive on it, so we're just going to let it go. A little bit of liquid glue really close to that, because our next pieces are only 1/4 inch. So keep it nice and close. This is 1/4 inch from the Echo Park collection that I had left over. This could be any color. I just used whatever I had, and I'm going to show you what I have left. This is my only long piece that I have of all the paper. It's gone. I made my final little projects with it, and I did end up with just a couple pieces because I was using them so that I would have them to show for this video. I could have made another card, but you know, it would have been a push for me to love it. So, and I only want to craft what I'm going to love. So it does look the slightest bit off to me, but we're going to go for it. Okay, here we go. Now, and you could use throwaway paper for this. I call throwaway paper that I would never actually use. It doesn't have to be a nice, pretty white piece. Here we go. Let's get that closed. This has even had time to dry. Leave 1/8 inch all the way around. And these are a little bulky. I will tell you, these cards are a little bulky. Okay, here we go. It's so cute. I didn't get to make it because, you know, I just had enough supplies to do this one with the other cards that I made. I'm going to need way more foam tape than this. Not really, but I'm going to use way more foam tape than this. Let me grab my jumbo roll here. Here we go. Okay, so, excuse me. When you finish folding this card, it is a lot puffier on the right than it is on the left. So because of that and me using this foam tape, I'm actually going to put this towards the left. There we go. Because see how thick that is right here with all those layers, and this gorgeous thick paper is wonderful. The Winnie the Pooh is nice too, but this... the American Crafts paper that I have here on the inside, that's nice and thick too. And this color collection from Echo Park is really beautiful and is blendable with so many colors that you probably have right in your stock. Okay, let's add the fun bits, right? And we're going to do red because we have little pops of red going on. There we go. And I think I won't just keep it on the little pocket card portion. I think I'm gonna let my bling travel to the outside. I think I'm gonna use this one right here and put a big one on right here. There we go. And I want to put one right here, and I think a good one for that is going to be this color here. I don't like that as much as I thought I would. Let's put something on there that's going to have a little bit more contrast. I put that in the wrong spot. There we go. Let's do that super light yellow. There we go. And we'll put this medium brown one, I think right here. And I'm going to do a final one with that little yellow right there. There we go. And that's going to do it. I love these enamel dots. And these colors are so great. You can either keep them together, or as you are working with papers and you notice they match, you can just kind of cut the little strips off and say, okay, I'm going to put this one with my Christmas paper. This one really goes, these three go with my sunflower. This one goes with my winter collection. And that way you'll be more likely to use them, you know, if you are a person who likes to keep all your supplies together. Okay, we're done. Look at this. You're as sweet as honey. He's got the honey pot on his head. And then you open it up and he's in the honey pot here. And you have this adorable Winnie the Pooh book card. I hope you guys really like this bonus design space project. I can't wait to hear which cards you decided to make that I shared with these 4 fun folds in this collection. Now I'm going to link all the videos for all the cards. Now I'll go back and link them in all the videos so that you guys will have easy access. Just hit that more button and all of the comments will come up. But if you have any questions, don't hesitate to leave me a comment or reach out to me and I'll be happy to get back with you. I have had the best time creating these cards with you, and I want to thank you for joining me here on the Creating With You YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this series or this video, please hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. It helps me out so much here in the YouTube community. Thank you very much and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.